The Denver Broncos fired their offensive coordinator, Rich Scangarello, and immediately replaced him with former Giants head coach Pat Shurmur as the new offensive coordinator. So number one, I really believe that this move was less about Scangarello and far more about Pat Shurmur. Pat Shurmur was an awful head coach in the NFL. You got to acknowledge that. But he is a genius offensive coordinator. Head coach and offensive coordinator are two very different positions that require very different skill sets. Pat Shurmur lacked the leadership and organization and demanding respect required to be a head coach in the NFL. But he is such a good offensive coordinator. He does a great job putting guys in a position to be successful. I mean, Pat Shurmur won games, got to an NFC Championship game with Case Keenum at quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. And I think what happened here was that the Broncos realized they had a shot to hire Pat Shurmur, so they didn't hesitate. They fired the guy they had and went all out to get Pat Shurmur. I respect it. It makes sense to me. The Broncos now have one of the better offensive coordinators in the entire NFL. I think it's a great move. I love it. He knows how to get the most out of his players. I think Pat Shurmur is a great hire for the Denver Broncos. But I do want to say, Broncos fans completely misunderstand the former offensive coordinator, Rich Scangarello. Number one, the way that Rich Scangarello hired and handled Brandon Allen was so impressive to me. Nobody seems to understand how winning a football game with Brandon Allen was one of the more impressive things I saw all year in the NFL. Brandon Allen was an extremely limited decision maker playing quarterback for the Denver Broncos. Brandon Allen threw to his first read every single time. The guy was not a big time decision maker. And the fact that they won a game that way is such a testament to Rich Scangarello calling plays. It means that basically every single time he called a play, he called exactly the perfect right play where the first read was the right option for Brandon Allen. And Broncos fans were mad that Rich Scangarello, the former offensive coordinator, kept calling plays that wouldn't work, plays like a tight end sweep. But people don't understand that. People from the outside looking in at football don't understand that running plays that don't work every time is actually really important. Running plays like running back, runs right up the middle, or the tight end sweep with Noah Fant. Noah Fant is one of the most talented physically players on the Denver Broncos. You want to try to get him the ball in space. So that's one reason to run that play. But another reason is that you fake the sweep. Eventually, if you keep running a sweep with Noah Fant, the tight end, running tight end sweep over and over and over again, it doesn't work. Eventually, you run it, and you don't give it to Noah Fant. You run play action, and you drop back the quarterback, and maybe you throw to Noah Fant down the field, or you throw to someone else down the field. It's a wrinkle that sets up other plays. It's important to run plays that might not work over and over again, because eventually you run another wrinkle where they go to stop what they've been stopping for a long time, and you do something slightly different, and it causes a gigantic gain for the offense. Rich Scangarello was one of the most underappreciated play callers in the entire NFL. He did a great job with the rookie quarterback, Drew Lock. Scangarello was fired, yes. But he was fired because the Broncos didn't want to miss out on getting Pat Shurmur. It was less because Scangarello was bad, and far more because Pat Shurmur is just that good as an NFL offensive coordinator.